The US is currently in the turmoil of an important American elections that will be going on the 5th of November to determine who's going to become the next American president. So today, in this first episode of a mini-series of 2 episodes, you will discover which stock should you have on your watch list if this or this candidate gets elected. It is important to note that this video won't be including any types of political opinions. Instead, I am trying to predict what will be the different sectors and companies that will benefit from both candidates. And so in today's video, we'll be starting with Donald J. Trump. One of the first promises made by Mr. Trump if he gets elected to lower the growing inflation in the US would be to lower the energy costs. And so, to do so, his intentions are basically to
We will drill, baby, drill.
And so, as you can understand, the objective of Trump compared to Biden would be to come back to US energy dominance by basically expanding drilling for oil and gas on federal lands. The objective behind it is basically to reduce the cost of energy at the same time by reducing the cost of transportation, which would translate by having lower cost on your different daily products that you are buying. With this type of scenario, you can understand that many different natural gas and oil companies in the US would become pretty interesting for the investors. It is why the first company that I have on my list if Donald J. Trump becomes the next US president is Exxon Mobil with the ticker XOM. As being the largest US oil producer, Exxon Mobil would be one of the biggest winners of the election of Donald J. Trump. Indeed, by being one of the strongest energy companies in the entire world, where Exxon Mobil has been able to generate over $93 billion of revenue only in the last quarter, it is clear that this company has a super strong and efficient business model that is mainly focusing on the production of fuel, lubricants, and other chemical products, which can all be available under many of their different brands such as Exxon, Mobil, and Esso. In total, worldwide, there are currently close to 12,000 gas stations under the different banners of Exxon Mobil. Add to this with their more recent acquisition of Pioneer Natural Resources for about $60 billion. This should help them to significantly increase their upstream production capabilities by merging Pioneer's more than 850,000 net acres in the Meadowland Basin with ExxonMobil's 570,000 net acres in the Delaware and Midland basins. This will create a real giant in the energy field where Exxon's Permian's production volume would more than double to 1.3 million barrels of oil equivalent per day. And knowing that the Permian Basin basically goes from New Mexico to the west of Texas, the potential coming of ex-President Trump would be some great news for the investors of this company that is offering over 3% of quarterly dividends to their shareholders and that has already gained over 15% of value since the beginning of 2024. Then we also know that President Trump is also a true patriot that will prioritize the American with his famous slogan, Make America Great Again, which means that he wants to focus on the growth of the US economy. To encourage this local economy, we've seen that during his past mandate, President Trump has been imposing a 25% tariff on import of steel and a 10% tariff on the import of aluminum. And so, while the 10% tariff on all import goods that has been proposed by Mr. Trump for the next election might be seen by many people as some bold statement, one of the companies that would benefit from this news would be the business Nucor with the ticker NUE. With this measure that has the objective to create some lesser price competition from the Chinese and Brazilian steel makers, a company like Nucor would be a great beneficiary of it. Indeed, while steel was trading at about $2,000 an ounce in August of 2021, we can now see that it is trading for about less than a third of that amount right now. It makes that big materials companies such as Nucor are currently on a massive downtrend where the company has lost close to 10% of its valuation year to date. It also means that in their latest earnings report, we've also seen a massive decrease in their total sales year over year with a decrease of about 17%, combined with a disastrous decrease year over year of over 100% in their total earnings per share. And so the potential coming of Donald Trump as the next president of the United States in 2025 could be a true game changer for this company that is also considered by many analysts as being a company that are able to keep a clean balance sheet with a great experienced management team despite navigating some difficult conditions. And finally, for the third and last stock on my list, we'll be going in a sector that is well appreciated by the ex-president, which is the armament field. Over the years, the consensus has been that the defensive stocks have usually benefits from different Republican administrations. On its side, Donald Trump is super hawkish about protecting the American interests. This means that he doesn't only look to provide great economic growth to the country, but also great military stability. Recently, he has also said that he was not inclined to continue to provide military support to NATO and ally members that don't spend at least 2% of their GDP in defense as the alliance requires. He also said that he would want to increase this threshold to over 3% if it would become the next president in January of 2025. It means that another company that could be interesting for you to have on your watch list if Trump becomes the next president would be Lockheed Martin with the ticker LMT. With geopolitical uncertainty and raging conflicts that are going on all across the globe from Israel to Ukraine, this unfortunate turn of events could become a great potential opportunities for a company like Lockheed Martin. This American manufacturer that is currently worth over $150 billion specializes in the production of some of the finest commercial and military aircraft in the entire world. They are notably the ones that are producing the famous F-35 fighter aircraft. These types of planes are particularly appreciated by Mr. Trump that has been praising its capacities in a 2019 visit to a Lockheed Martin facilities.
With the Air Force ordering a lot of planes, in particular the F-35 fighter jet, which is, almost like an invisible fighter.
Add to this, in their latest earnings report, we've assisted to a certain growth in their total net earnings that have been growing year over year by about 8%, and where their total free cash flow have been massively jumping by over 95% compared to the same period last year. And so there you have it. Those are 3 great stocks to keep on your watch list if Donald Trump would become the next US president. Obviously, as for Kamala Harris, there would be also other different sectors and stocks that could benefit from the potential coming of this candidate as the next US president. And so to make sure to see what are the different stocks to keep on your watch list if Kamala Harris becomes the next US president, make sure to join the North family by subscribing to the channel for only $0.0, and I will see you soon. Peace.